Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between. Here we are, video 8 on June 29th, 2011. Let's see, just another day here. I'm Danielle. I'll be reading again from Sun Tzu's The Art of War. As always, I'm just here to make a fool of myself, practice my voice a bit, and continue this long path. So, let's see, yesterday we finished reaching the end where Lionel Giles talks about the text, and we'll go through that, and we'll get into the commentators. Throughout the actual chapters, there are a series of commentators who have come through the ages and made various comments, annotations, philosophizations. I don't think that's a word. About the Art of War. So, here we go. Let's see. As always, the text is from Project Gutenberg, your source for all your ancient texts for transgender voice videos, because everyone needs to make those. Alright, anyway, so we'll have video tonight, video tomorrow, and then we'll be back. We'll be on a hiatus and back next Tuesday. Okay, so let's see where to begin. Oh, just drink water. Too much water. Okay. I'm having too much fun. Three individuals here referred to had evidently been occupied in the text of Sun Tzu prior to Sun Yan's commission. But we are left in doubt as to the work they really accomplished. At any rate, the new edition, when ultimately published, appeared in the names of Sun Yan and only one co-editor, Wu Zhenxi. They took the original edition as their basis, and by careful comparison with older versions, as well as the extant commentaries and other sources of information, such as the stupid Chinese names, succeeded in restoring a very large number of doubtful passages, and turned out, on the whole, what must have been accepted as the closest approximation of we are ever likely to get in Sun Tzu's original work. This is what will hereafter be denominated the standard text. The copy which I use belongs to an reissue dated 1877. It is 6-pen, forming part of a well-printed set of 23 early philosophical works in 83-pen. It opens with a preface by Sun Yan, largely quoted in this introduction, indicating a traditional view of Sun Tzu's life and performances, and next, a short miscellany of historical and bibliographical information entitled Sun Tzu Lu, completed by P. Sun. As regards the body of the work, each separate sentence is followed by a note on the text, if required, and then by various commentaries appertaining to it, arranged in chronological order. These we shall now proceed to discuss briefly, one by one. The commentators. Okay, now we go through the commentators. Sun Tzu composed an exceptionally long distinguished rule of commentators, which would do honor to any classic. Yang Tzu remarks on this fact, though he wrote before the tale was complete, and rather ingeniously explains it by saying the artifices for being inexhaustible must therefore be susceptible of treatment in a great number of ways. Number 1. Cao Cao, or Cao Kung, afterwards known as Wei Wei Ti, from the year AD 155 to 220. There's hardly any room for doubt that the earliest commentary on Sun Tzu actually came from the pen of this extraordinary man, whose biography in the San Kuo Chi. Next book is going to be like Charles Dickens or something not so Chinese. Oh well. San Kuo Chi reads like a romance. One of the greatest military geniuses the world has ever seen, and Napoleonic in the scale of his operations, he was especially framed with marvelous rapidity of his marches, which has found expression in the line, "Talk of Cao Cao, and Cao Cao will appear." Who hasn't used that at least once a week? I know I say that all the time, don't you? Talk of Cao Cao, and Cao Cao will appear. I always say that. Never. Oh Yan Tzu says of him that he was a great captain who measured his strength against Tong Chou, Lu Po, and Tu Yuan, father and son, and vanquished them all. Whereupon he divided the empire upon with Wu and Shu, and made himself king. It is recorded that whether a council of war was held by Wu Wei on the eve of the far-reaching campaign, he had all his calculations ready. Those generals who made use of them did not use one battle in 10. Those who ran counter to them in any particular saw their Those who ran counter to them in any particular saw their armies continently beaten and put to flight. Cao Kun's notes on Sun Tzu, models of austere bravery, are so thoroughly characteristic of the stern commander known to history that it is hard indeed to conceive of them in a word of mere literature. Sometimes indeed, owing to extreme compression, they are scarcely negligible and stand no less in need of a commentary than the text itself. Now that is what I call a resume. On my next cover letter for a job, I think I'll describe my efforts at work as Napoleonic. Or possibly a Greek tragedy. We'll see. Anyway. Okay. Commentator 2. Eng Shi. The commentary which has come down to us under this name is comparatively meager, and nothing about this author is known, and why the hell is happened better. Even his personal name has not been recorded. Shi Tianpo's edition places him after Qi Lin and Xiao Kun Wu, also sons since the Tang Dynasty. But this is a mistake. In Sun Yat-sen's preface, he appears as Meng Shi of the Liang Dynasty. Others would identify him with Meng Tian of the 3rd century. He is named in one work as the last of the 5 commentators, others being Wu, Wei Wu Ti, Tu Mu, Jian Ho, and Xiao Lin. Commentary number 3. Li Chuan. Sounds like a leprechaun. I didn't know they were Irish in China. Ancient Chinese leprechauns. Yeah, it's bad. Li Chuan. The 8th century was a well-known writer on military tactics. One of his works has been in constant use to this present day. The Tong Chi mentions lives of famous generals of the Chao to Tang Dynasty, as written by him. According to Chao Kun Wang, Tian Catalog, he followed a variant of the text of Sun Tzu, which differs considerably from what it was now extent. His notes are mostly short and to the point, and he frequently illustrates his remarks by anecdotes from Chinese history. So we're going to get some anecdotes from Chinese history. Excellent. Right. Commentator number 4. Tu Yu died 812. Did not publish a separate commentary on Sun Tzu. his notes being taken from the Jonahan encyclopedic treatise of the Unconstitution, which was his life's work. They are largely repetitions of Xiao Kun and Meng Shi, besides which it is believed that he drew on the ancient commentaries of Wang Ling and others. Owing to the peculiar arrangements of Jonahan, he has to express each passage of its merits apart from the context, and sometimes his own explanation does not agree with that of Xiao Kun, whom he always quotes first. Though not strictly to be reckoned as one of the 10 commentators, he was added to their numbers by Chen Tinpo, being wrongly placed after his grandson, Tu Mu. Number 5. Tu Mu, the years 803 to 852 AD. It's perhaps best known as a poet, a bright star even in the glorious galaxy of the Tang period. Now that's a metaphor. No offense for it, refers to anyone I want to comment as a bright star in their own glorious galaxy. Oh, anyway, gotta love 19th century writers. Whatever. Bright star in the glorious galaxy of the Tang period. Learned from Xiao Kun Wu that although he had no practical experience of war, he was extremely fond of discussing the subject, and was moreover well read in the military history of Zhou Jian and Shan Ku eras. His notes, therefore, are well worth attention. They are very copious and replete with historical parallels. The gist of Sun Tzu's work is summarized by him. Practice benevolence and justice, and on the other hand make full use of artifice and measures of expediency. He further declared that all military tires and disasters of the 1,000 years which had elapsed since Sun Tzu's death put upon examination be found to uphold the credit in every particular the maxims contained in his book. Tu Mu's somewhat spiteful charge against Xiao Kun has already been considered elsewhere.
Alright, I think that's enough for one night. I'm getting a little lightheaded. Yeah. Again, no worries, it's alright. We'll get there when we get there. It's a long road, and we're slowly walking it while hopefully making Sun Tzu spin in his grave a little bit. Or gone. He's gone in his grave. Yeah. Anyway, that's racist. Fuck it, whatever. Okay, let's see. So, that's it for tonight. Post comments if you want. Send messages. Smoke signals, carrier pigeons, telekinesis messages. Is that the right word? Okay, no, that's movement. Telephonic? No, that's telephone. Psychic messages. Sure, why not? That'll work. Professor X can make a comment. Alright, I'm, as always, Texas on Project Gutenberg. I'm Danielle. See you all tomorrow, and good night, and good luck.